Hey guys, welcome to another Air Tycoon Online 2 episode. Today we are going to be doing a Japan slash Asia themed episode because I've decided that every episode I could look over the entire map, find the best possible routes, and make them. But that takes so long, I'm just going to decide to do one thing at a time, and today that thing is Japan and Asia. Now, the reason for this is, like the previous few episodes, I was spending a lot of time in the episode just searching for routes, and it did take a very long time. And thanks to this game being increasingly laggy and the number of routes which I could find becoming increasingly scarce, I thought it'd be easier to just focus on one area at a time, because at this point I have true dominance over this world. Let me just quickly show you this rank chart. Like, I'm really quickly gaining on this person, and my financial report is 600k in December, so very high numbers, for especially for the time of the year. So I'm just gonna like rapid fire these routes just as fast as I can make them, pretty much. uh, Pretty much I'm just gonna be taking everything to Japan. Okay, it turns out that Nyoga City, I don't know how to say that in Japan, is quite small, so I'm not going to be doing that city, but all the other ones I'm just going to be connecting to every major city in Europe, or what I consider major, as long as it's in range. And geez, this is laggy. As you can tell, it is quite hard to move around, though. My phone is doing quite a few things. It's uploading the previous episode right now, it is recording, and of course playing this game, which is a lot to ask for like a 5-watt processor. Which is pretty much what is in some cell phones. I'm not actually sure. It might be 15, might be whatever. I know my friend's laptop is 45 watts, so I'd be really surprised if the processor alone could surpass even like a fifth of that, because that's 45-watt laptop. That's a screen processor, all the other things. I can't remember what they are. Screen processor. All the other things which make a laptop run. How about that? Oh, I clicked the wrong airport in Amsterdam. Where? Wait, what? Oh, maybe I selected the second airport by accident. That was a bit silly on my part. Now, Jeju is a city. I like Jeju. I don't know why. I think it becomes decently large later game. So that is nice. I'm going to be, of course, taking that. Yeah, I guess I'll do a Europe themed episode next time, because yeah, I want to quickly take a look at something, but I already forgot what that is. So I'm just gonna keep rapid firing on my Japanese slash Asian routes. Oh yes, I want to check if this city has become big yet. Nope. Is this big? Oh, that is decently sized, actually. And Wuhan is actually decently big too. And what about here? That's decent. That is of course decent. That is still no airport. And here has already been quite thoroughly hubbed off of. So it looks like just mainly Japan is going to be the theme of this episode. Hopefully I don't fill up all the spaces too quickly, because I have a feeling that's going to happen. So, oops, no, I do want to have services on my routes. By the way, guys, service satisfaction, I've never tried not making it, but it's not particularly important compared to the route itself, when the route is a monopoly route, because there's nobody to compete with. But however, I just max out the service satisfaction in cabin anyway, because it is not really expensive at all. Like in a $1,000 ticket, like taking $72 per person out is not going to affect my profit greatly, which is why I just do that, especially when I consider that I have the minimum seating arrangement, or the maximum seating arrangement, so I have the most possible seats. Is of course not a big deal to take a few of those seats out just to max out the service in the cabin. However, when you have a competitive route, all these things do come into play, because having smaller seating, of course, does lower your satisfaction, and the other airline will, of course, receive much more passengers, even if you have the same cabin service, if your seats have low satisfaction. So that is something to keep in mind when you do minimize your seats, is that it will affect your route if it does happen to become a competition route. That is why, however, I just recommend not ever even just bothering to have a competition route, because it is truly not worth it to compete. Now, Bengaluru is a surprisingly big city, so I'm gonna, of course, be taking that with my DC-8s. Yeah, as you can see, I have $4.5 million capital, just like that's like nearly a fifth of my value, just saved up in the bank. Um, and a couple DC-8s on order. So, of course, I'm going to have a lot and a lot and a lot of things to do later on, even. So, uh, let's see. As it seems, somebody has quite diligently just taken London to everything. That is quite interesting. Not even a bad idea. See if I can find any holes. Nope. As it seems, they were thorough enough to take everything that I would want to take to London. Uh, so Busan. No, let's do Athens. Let's do Athens next. I'm not sure why. Athens is about 600, so it's not particularly great city, but why not? Actually, why take Athens first when we could do? Did I do Frankfurt? Yeah, I did Amsterdam. I did Paris. Now let's do Frankfurt, and then let's do Rome, and then Moscow even. But Moscow is probably flyable with DC-8s at this range. Oh, jeez, jeez. Uh. Man, do you see this lagginess? Like, should I start toggling this, like, between doing things and then toggle it back on when I need to actually make the route? Because I think that might be easier at this point. Um, so, of course, just gonna... I wish you could just have a preset for each individual airplane, like, so it would always do the same. Say, if it was a DC-8 762, it would first load up the same thing from last time, and you would have to change it if you wanted something different. That would save a lot of time indeed. Yeah, I'm thinking of, like, oops, I should not have toggled that. I'm thinking of toggling the routes off uh, when I'm between routes, because I feel like that's a good way um, to make sure my phone is not being completely overloaded with things when I'm actually just looking, just trying to select a city, because as you could see, that was starting to get quite slow, and even with just my routes alone, that was quite slow, given that I have so many routes. So, yeah, how's everybody doing? I have nothing to say. Let's try turning the routes off. So, as you can see, that is not really helping the lag, so I might not do that. That's something I did in ATO 1, I remember. Man, how hard is it to draw down lines? And now these are curved lines, so they're even more demanding to draw, but, like, jeez. Jeez. I wish this game was not so demanding on my phone. I guess next episode I'll do a Europe theme, so I'll be connecting Asia and whatever to Europe, medium-sized cities in Europe, so Venice, Milano, Perseka, Napoli, what else? Manchester, Copenhagen, the Russian one, St. Petersburg, that kind of stuff. All those medium-sized, small, mini-ish cities to the large cities in North America and Europe. Maybe that is what I'm going to be doing next. So, Jeju? Jeju, yeah, I'm going to be doing Jeju. Man, I'm already down to less than 10 DC-8s. Well, that's fine, because I actually have a lot of other planes and things ready for some other routes I found. Mainly some South American cities, a couple of them, and of course the Indian ones, which I've already done one. So, Frankfurt, Bengaluru, already done. Karachi's not really worth doing, like Pakistan. That is a 350. It's not really worth it yet. Wuhan is worth it, but unfortunately I do not have enough slots there. Yes, slots is a constant pain in the ass when you're playing this game. You can never... How hard is it to select the city? Select. Scroll. Click. Create. There we go. There's some dust on my phone. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Very good, very good. So, yes. This is quite uneventful. The number of routes still available in this world is quite a lot, considering the date, but, I seem to be the only one. I seem to be the only one competing for the routes with myself. Like, look at Rome. Like, I have probably like half the long range routes from Rome. Like, I'm competing with myself mostly everywhere at this point, and it is starting to feel a little bit pointless. Even. Ooh, is that not taken to Fukuoka? That is a good route. Fukuoka uh, is a pretty intensely good city. It's like 450, I believe. Um, So it's very good to get around like Rome to Fukuoka because Rome is a big city, Fukuoka is a great big city, and yeah, I'm very happy about this world actually. The World Traveler Index has decided to not be a little pussy and to actually rise, which means I can actually just completely just exploit this game and just dominate and get so many routes. Um, a lot of the games I play, the World Traveler refuses to rise above 3,000 for so long, and maybe in like 1970 it'll finally reach 3,000. And believe me, if I actually play the entire time from now to 1970, every route imaginable is taken. I've taken New York to everything in Europe. I've taken just like the number of routes which I haven't taken. Like if you look at London, like I've probably connected it to 50% of the cities in the world, just because London is a city that is big enough for me to do that with. Um, so I would do that because London's like 800 and it's the only way I could make money from doing long range routes, which is of course the only kind of route you can do when you have a lot of money because it's the only way you can possibly request slots fast enough um, to even consider. I really wish that they would decrease the slot request time just so the game would not be limited by your ability to play the game pretty much. Um, so yeah. Anyway, I guess that would make people like me, who had lots of time to play the game and was pretty good at the game, it would kind of make that a little bit overpowered maybe, but whatever. Whatever. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. So Moscow was one of the last cities I wanted to do because those are, in my opinion, the bigger European cities. Now Moscow is not terrifically big; it's not much bigger than Athens. But the nice thing about it is sometimes you don't even have to use the DC-8s. You can use the DC-8-11s, which are of course leasable, which means you can have so many of these planes. Now, when I reach the point where I have so much capital that I cannot possibly buy planes as fast as I can spend it, then that is the point where I'll start replacing my leases with other aircraft, because otherwise that's just money wasted. So Moscow to the Philippines, is that worth it? I might as well. I might as well. I got some DC-8s. And I guess it'll just vary my route pool a bit. So, yeah, I wonder what I should set as the next goal for me in this game, because if you look at my profit and all that shit, it has reached such sky-high levels at this point that I'm really not sure what I should do next. Um, like, I'm very quickly gonna overtake the next person times 2, and then probably 3 times, maybe even 4 times their value. I could see that happening. The second place guy, and I don't know what I should do after that. Should I just try and achieve the most immense possible value? But I'm not sure if I can play this game for 65 days worth of like dedicated playing, because that is indeed a long time. I know I have a friend who likes to play the late game instead of the early game of this game, so maybe I could pass it on to him, and he could continue it, and I could show you guys what the end result was or something like that. But I'm not sure if that would be as fun or as like good as just me playing the whole game, because I'm sure he doesn't have as much time as me and he's not going to record videos. So just kind of be like, hey, this is what ended up happening. Uh, cool, whatever. Like, so it would be kind of, I guess, like not the best. So I'm not sure, because I really do not think I will be able to play this game for 65 days and not get completely bored. Shit. The hidden route. The hidden route. So, yes, Moscow. Moscow is deceptively close to everything because it's far north, and things that are far north, the world is okay. If you think that what I'm saying makes no sense, which I could totally imagine because my explanations are awfully shit, um, think of it like this: the on the equator, the if you were to draw a line around the world along the equator, it would be, of course, the pretty much circumference of the world. Like, then, if you were to go 10 degrees north, then that would become smaller because you'd be moving closer to the top of the sphere, and so on until you get to the North Pole, which is just a point. So, as you as you go north, pretty much, the smaller the area gets, or the smaller the circumference of the Earth is. And what that means is pretty much routes which fly farther north are actually closer together than they appear, which is, I guess, something that's no longer true with this sphere-shaped globe on the ATO2. But on ATO1, which is where a lot of people came from and got the conceptions of range from, everything is drawn flat on a flat projection. So that is when the illusion of north being bigger than it is appears. And yeah, etc., etc., etc. That explanation was awfully shit, and I said that before, but that's fine. Some people, at least one person, at least 0 people, probably actually watched to this point, will have understood what I said. Alright. Wow, there are many, many routes I have made, yet I have not even dented my airplane count.